like Attila the Hun. I came here to conquer. Lanes bring the beef, I tell them no donker. They wanna play games, I shock them like Blanca. They still rudimentary, I'm tough like Tonka. And let me get this off my chest. I'm hearing going nowhere, so haters take a rest. Ain't nothing handed, just working hard, sweating. You can take that to the bank. I know I did bet.
Welcome to episode 25 of Eye of the Storm. I, of course, am your host, Tempestt. Please be sure to hit the like button, and if you're new and like the content, be sure to leave a sub and hit the notification bell to know when the next video goes up. It really helps the channel out, especially with the algorithm. And also, if you haven't seen the previous episodes, feel free to give those a look as well. As you know, I've started a playlist for ease of access, and of course I do my own music, montages, and work with Mind Over Mix-Up. I also work with BDG and a few other things. But with that out of the way, let's get started. The scramble continues. The UK release of the PS5 has happened, and they're having some trouble too getting things going. And even on Thursday here in the States, the Walmart site sold out in less than 5 seconds. At least from my end, that's all it took. We're still looking at a lockout too, but we'll just have to be patient at this point. Hey Sony, if you got a spare one, then I'm your guy. Yeah, I went there. Positive feedback about Miles Morales all around, and of course, you have on both the Sony and Microsoft end the launch wave blues with errors and whatnot. So far, there's really only been one brick, but we don't know exactly what sort of difference that individual and everyone else had as to the cause. I'll be trying to keep an eye out on the news as we reach the holiday season too. Also, Godfall seems to be good according to some circles. I can't wait to try it myself. We're just gonna have to find out find our own place really in this shifting world. And speaking of which, our topic today is a bit more on the community side, namely, how you can find a place that you can belong, especially in today's situation, and a bit on whether or not there should be some sort of adjustments for beginners in your community. So in the wake of this state of affairs, it's been kind of hard to keep offline meetings up. That goes for both tournaments and even just sessions. We all don't want to wind up sick. That being said, not everyone's fond of the online aspect, present company included. However, we can't just stay stuck in our past. So, what do you do when you're not able to link up with your usual crowd? I found a couple different communities that I feel comfortable in. The thing is that they aren't even near me. It's people that are states away. Now, before I actually get into the meat and potatoes, I just want to give a shout out to Gia and the Direwolf, and also the TBFGC crew as well. They're the ones that sparked the ideas for this. Look, how do you find these types of communities? Because I know for me, I just don't normally play as much as I like, but I do have a good time when I play with the people I do. Well, the first thing is, obviously, you need to look for the people. A lot of times, you tend to rely on your connections for this. It's kind of a, wow, these people are like so-and-so, and they'd enjoy the atmosphere. That's kind of how I found some. Or you may meet someone through your usual crowd and find something in common, and boom! Eventually you get to a different group you can play with as well. Plus, a community doesn't have to be huge, just a group of people you can play with and discuss things. Once you meet people, you want to ensure that you at least try to be yourself and communicate. It's more than just playing games. Connect with them and actually be a community. You tend to be more comfortable and happy when you get to enjoy similar things with the people you play with. Online is very useful for that. Not to mention, you get a group of people who understand the struggle of online and not take it so hard. Also, groups like that tend to have players of all skills who just want to help each other out. So again, as I always say, ask questions. You want to share philosophies and just discuss. It may not be the offline experience, but it could definitely help you grow and allow you to learn just the same. Also, be sure to look out for your friends. If you see a spot they'll fit in, they'll be better off for it if you let them know, and you will too. Who knows what'll trigger growth. The other thing I want to talk about is how we handle less experienced players, or the amateur players. The skill levels of amateurs can actually vary quite a bit, which is why, for the sake of not misleading people, I'll use the term less experienced. These are players that may not have the time to put into the game, playing people of a certain level, certain knowledge, or even of a certain experience. Take, for instance, tournament. The atmosphere, even in an online one, is entirely different, and some people just aren't used to the pressure. To them, even just playing in a ranked match is a matter of comfort in their own home. Remember what I said about being able to bring as much of home with you as you can at a tournament? Well, the same application is even for an online tournament when you think about it. It's just a matter of creating the same atmosphere of relaxation. In a set where something's on the line, it can be a whole type of feeling that's just altogether different. And I've met people who run ranked all day but couldn't handle a best of 5, first of 5, or anything like that. Just knowing that there's pressure is something they can't seem to process properly enough to play normally. Now that we've established a bit more on the amateur or less experienced aspect, the question still begs to be answered. Should there be something to accommodate these players? Well, I'm gonna go on record that for bigger tournaments, regionals and majors, nationals, internationals, all that, no, I'm sorry, but these are the big time situations. This is like the big situations you see in anime. Think Inner High or Nationals for most sports anime. This is what you prepare for. If you go in there expecting to get some kind of special treatment because you're new, it's not happening. Now, what about your locals, or the super locals? Well, see, technically those are the ones for the less experienced players. You go there to gain the kind of experience you would need for bigger events. However, it's up to the smaller events and leaders to make sure you get the maximum out of your experience. In the same vein, it's also up to the players themselves. Run long sets, play as much as possible, those casuals / friendlies, and push yourself. Now, as far as accommodating these players even more, well, there are a few options. First, it's team tournaments. Now, these can be done at a bigger tournament, so look, it's something I feel is sorely underrated for the experience, but that's a whole different story. Look, what you can do is make it so the more and less experienced players are mixed in teams, but they can get more valuable experience for themselves and even get some insight from the players that kind of run the scene, for lack of better words. Then, the next option would be an Arcadian. Now, this is something I see more in the Smash community, but honestly, they have a ton of players everywhere, so this actually works out for them. This is a pretty good event to hold every couple months, so, players can see where they stand with people or who may have a similar skill or experience level as them. But an Arcadian is essentially a tournament that is devoid of top-ranked players. It helps those lesser ranked players, lower ranked players I should say, to get a bit of a confidence booster, and heck, the upper echelon can also see what's going on. The other thing is, those types of tournaments, they really can get a feel on, where people need to improve. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is exhibition matches, and it's going to be really quick. I just really feel that these are important all around because endurance is a key factor. It's like, oh my god, it's an extremely key factor for bigger events. Look, running first to 5 sets, if you can, first to 10, it's great for getting insight and weaknesses on players. But, that'll do it for now though. What do you guys think about these community suggestions? What are some that you would have? I'd love to hear them. Put them in the comments below. Also remember that I take suggestions for ideas and submissions. I give you credit. Anything you want to hear me talk about, you can always reach me easiest on Twitter, but if you have me in other media, feel free to reach out to me there. I'll also be releasing another lyrics video on Monday, and be sure to share things around, and if you can get some reactors to do so, that'd be great. Music is also on SoundCloud, so be sure to check out there. I've also got a new song in the works. Be sure to like and sub if you liked anything, and once again, thanks so much for helping break 100. Let's aim to grow even more. That being said, be safe, take care of each other, press buttons, and catch you on the flip side.
You want says, best believe that you'll catch one. Represent my gang, hands shaking like I'm Gladiator. Beat the beat ferociously, I'm vicious like the Manitan. Bobby flavor rapper than just rolling like a Don fan. I'm flame body, everything I do is guaranteed high. Y'all gon' keep this record spinning heavy like a poker stop. I grasp not